And in just a moment, Abby will lead us in the Shema and the V'ahavta. But I want to take this moment before we sing Ahava Rabbah, about God's boundless love, and I want to offer love and appreciation for something very special that happened last night. Last night, Dean Kramer of the Baltimore Orioles faced Max Fried of the Atlanta Braves. Two proudly Jewish pitchers faced off against one another, and ESPN clearly knew it because they put him in a Shabbos to play each other on Friday Night Baseball. And the Jewish world celebrated. The Jewish world celebrated. When was the last time, you're asking yourselves right now, that such an occurrence happened, that two proud Jews played each other? I see one hand in the back, but I'm going to ignore Scott because he's going to ruin the ending of this. But it was 1966, and it was Koufax versus Holtzman at Wrigley Field that two faced off, proud Jewish identities playing each other in front of all. That was the story that you read about that occurred last night in baseball. The story that you didn't read about that occurred last night in Major League Baseball is that in the great Jewish cultural center of Tampa Bay, the Yankees were playing the Rays, and who threw out the first pitch to welcome the Yankees to Tampa Bay? But Helen Kahan, who's a Shoah survivor celebrating her 100th birthday. And the Tampa Bay Rays brought out Helen Kahan, and she threw out the first pitch, which traveled approximately 3.2 feet. And she did the most Jewish thing possible. She stood on the mound surrounded by 14 grandchildren and great-grandchildren. She stood there on her 100th birthday in the mound of the stadium, surrounded by grandchildren and great-grandchildren, because she explained that her survival was for them. And Judaism is once again flourishing in every corner. Because if Judaism is flourishing on the mound in Major League Baseball parks, it means every corner. Last night, the Rays made a donation, a grant they awarded to the Florida Institute for Shoah, for Holocaust Education around the state of Florida. There are moments that happen in this country in which our pride should overwhelm us. Our cup overflows. The story that we saw was the story that was most celebrated. My friends in all capacities sent me emails, text messages about Fried and Kramer last night. I encourage you to go home and watch the video of Helen Kahan. It's on ESPN.com. The game started at 7 o'clock in Tampa Bay, which was 4 o'clock here, and the video went viral immediately. And in it, you'll see what it means to transmit the Jewish tradition forward to generation after generation. You'll see grandchildren and great-grandchildren celebrate that pitch as if it was a 100-mile-an-hour strike thrown right down the middle. Because for us as a people, there could have been no better pitch thrown last night by Kramer or Fried, by Koufax or Holtzman, than the pitch thrown last night by Helen Kahan. Ahava Rabbah begins on the top of page 111.